Hey guys, next video, and I decided not to take these, not to make these reviews every week because we all follow follow hockey, we all follow NHL, and I don't think I can say something new or some specific information about them, and I decided that to make them once in the 2 weeks maybe, or once in the 3 weeks. But I will try to talk maybe more about things, what questions I'm getting in my DMs in Twitter or email in emails. And last week I got an question from one of my followers. He asked how I can learn how to bet. Question was a little bit longer, and there was a small conversation. And but yeah, basically, I decided to make this short video with maybe some basic stuff, which is very, I think, important. Of course, it's not all you. It's not. I can't make a short video and talk, and then everyone after 15-20 minutes will be ready to bet and when ready to win or whatever it takes. And but I hope these fair tips will help you maybe to um, do things better. So yeah, uh, and I think there is a pretty much for uh, basic things which what we need to know before we start betting on NHL or whatever, it's NBA, NFL, or maybe baseball or football, whatever. You need to read books, and this is a book which I suggest to everyone to read, because you need to understand how, not only who is winning and or who is favorites, or who is more dangerous team on attack, or the best team on the defense, but first of all you need to understand how odds are built, and who is making these for you when you bet on, and then that's the basic steps. And of course, you need to study math. You need to understand the probabilities of where is what we call value, right? And where you can find value, if you can find the value only when you need to make your own odds. For starters, it will be on the paper maybe. You write down your own odds, how you think, and then you go to your sports book or whatever, and if you see that odds are different from them which you made, and if you think that the sports book is wrong, then maybe you found a value. For everyone, value is different. There is no one value for everyone. So yeah, you need to focus on that, and you need to understand, and that where is it found, and only then, when you can understand odds, and what is value bet and what is not value bet, you need to understand the game. There is some people who are telling that you don't need to understand game at all to bet on. Maybe it is, of course, I understand it's a math, it's a probabilities, it's a you're founding these value bets, but I think if you are focusing on one or another sport, and you need to understand the game, it's not a necessary thing, it's not the main point of all of that, but you need to understand the game in how it's played, and maybe it will be even better if you played that game before and you know what it means when, for example, in hockey, what it means when it's a good locker room, or it's a bad locker room, and when team is on good form, and when team is on a bad form, and what is bad locker room, and what is healthy locker room, or whatever. How people, how guys or women, whatever, how they're like living in these locker rooms, and what it feels like to be, I don't know, on the road for a longer times than 5 hours. And these all small things count, in my opinion, and that's why I don't know how to bet on NFL, because I never played that game. I think I never watched the full game from the start whistle till the final whistle, and that's why I'm not even trying to bet on them. I would like to, maybe in future I will try to jump on it, but not now, because now it's full with hockey, and it's pretty hard to to find time for that as well. Yeah. That's also why I am not betting on basketball. For that we have Mr. B, right, and who is basketball head, and he understands basketball. I don't know all basketball rules, even that, and that's why I think it's hard to bet on that. It's hard to find the value in odds when you don't know how odds must look, in my opinion. Yeah, these are few minor things what we can learn, and for example, yeah, here's tonight's NHL games, and well, when I am talking to find a value bet, and for example, here is Arizona playing, Florida is playing in Arizona, and we can see that these are European odds. In American, it will be like minus 175 or something. And if someone tells me that these odds can be a value odds, then he's wrong. For me, I never take under 175. It's like my minus 133 in American odds, and it's it's just not something where you can find a value. There is someone who is telling that you can find a value even in these kind of odds and games, but not for me. For example, like we see Minnesota is playing against Montreal Canadiens. I would say that maybe here we can find some value. The same thing, Arizona is playing against Florida, 451. Maybe even these are kind of odds where we can maybe find a value here, right? It's not the money line odds; it's regular time odds. Well, money line odds will be around 3 plus 200 or something, and yeah, and why not? Why not? Why Arizona couldn't win Florida when they came to that their small rink, that bad locker room, and yeah. There is some things what you need to know before you start betting on NHL or whatever what sports it is, European hockey or something. So yeah, and the most important thing what I am telling everyone, you do not play parlays. Parlays are for house. It's for your betting operator who is taking your money. It's you will never be successful in long term with parlays or combos where you have 5 plus games, 3 plus games or something. Always play singles. Always stick to your bankroll and your bankroll management, and that's not even the first thing that you need to know. You need to learn how odds are built, and then you need to focus on bankroll and all stuff like that. And it's psychologically and hard, and but yeah, I understand. We all I started with parlays when I was back 17, 18 years old, I started with parlays. Everyone starting with parlays. Everyone is starting with combos. We are making these 1,000 plus odds, and we staked these $10 on them, and we thought that we will be millionaires in the near future, right? But turns out we are not, and we just lost some stupid money while we were younger, and that's normal. Everyone is doing that. Everyone wants to buy these lottery tickets. For example, in Africa, some time ago I worked more with in that market as well, and there is people who they will never bet on the odds what I am suggesting, like these normal odds, which we see here, 196. So it's not odds for him or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 3, 1. It's not enough. They need the big odds, and that's why we had. It's hard to explain people that you're not here to win a lottery. You're here in long-term process where you need to be focused every single day. Yeah. That was what I wanted to talk in this, but yeah, there is there's a lot of actually websites where you can look around for value information. This is Daily Face Up, also pretty good for fancy hockey, and yeah, and we see that this week is every week we have teams who are playing back-to-back games. Back-to-back games are when the teams playing 2 nights in a row. For example, yeah, we see here Ducks will play on November 5th and November 6th, and one game will be on the road and second game will be at home. These are games also where I like to check on, and it's not always that the second game they will lose. It doesn't mean that always. It's most likely you need to see how first game ends, and I like to check. I like to catch these maybe some overs or unders if games are productive in last night or less productive. Then I might be thinking about over next day. But once again, I will repeat that it's all depends on the odds which we see. That it doesn't mean that the game will end 3-0 in regulation time. That the next day I am taking on 6.5 over. No, it doesn't mean that. It's all about odds, and we need to check if odds are valuable enough. So yeah. Buffalo will play 2 nights here. For example, here Buffalo will play 2 nights in a row against Carolina and against Tampa. Both games will be on the road. It's easier. I am telling a lot when I'm writing these game previews. I am writing about some interesting facts, what can impact the game, and for example, in this case. We can see that here will be Carolina will play against Tampa on the road, and then they will move back home and they will play against Buffalo Sabres. Yeah, it will be the first game for the Buffalo Sabres against Carolina. I'm pretty sure that here will be that Buffalo will be pretty big underdogs here, and but it will be hard to play for Carolina, for example, here, because they will play on the road and they will come back home. They will be home, and then next day they have a game. For example, in this case, Buffalo will play on the road, and then they will continue their road, and which is much easier to play a game when you are still on the road, not to take your stuff, fly back home, go to your family, and then next day you come back. And it's these all small thing counts, and yeah, I'm always like to check all that stuff. Yeah, also playing against Columbus, but they will play these Euro games in Finland and in Finland and Sweden. I think they were, and just be sharp. Focus, not focus, but try to catch and try to find your valuable information when you see these back-to-back games. One more thing here we can see that starting goalies, it's very important in my opinion that when you I am an over hunter. I'm taking unders pretty less time, and most of my plays are overs. And if you look for over, you need to understand. I am looking for two things. I'm looking who is in the net for a team, and how offense is looking, and defense of course. But then the defense is goalie line there and like in one page, and I like to catch these games when, for example, when okay, there is a game or watch which we will take tonight, and for example, Longa Thompson will play, and Lindgren will be in net for Caps. Kemper played last night, so yeah, I am taking over 6 in this game, which I sent to my subscribers because Kemper is number one goalie for Caps, but it's not unconfirmed, but I don't think Kemper will play 2 nights in a row, and he played last night in Carolina, and it's a very hard situation for Caps. Caps are playing from hard roads. They came back home only yesterday night, and now they will need to play against Vegas, who are very strong on offense. They shoot a lot. They didn't score a lot. They scored. They made 48 or something shots on Winnipeg net last night. Not night, but last game a few days ago, and they scored only twice. And but this offense is pretty sharp, and if they will continue to shoot, then we will see the goals. And I saw that value in that for sure. Yeah, we need to catch these games when backup goalies are playing. For example, here Shesterkin is playing against Hart. If this was a mid-season, I would say it definitely will be a under game, but I don't know. Igor is not playing too great currently, and it's most likely important game. And Fleury, I don't know what he is still doing in NHL, to be honest, and maybe they need to find some other goalie and give Fleury to play only playoffs if they will even make it. And here we can see that Ottinger is out for the week, and very good will play, and we need to keep an eye maybe on these games where Dallas will play during this week. Maybe some good overs will come up because Wedgwood is not that great that Ottinger is, and these all small things count, and we need to be focused on all that information which we can see in internet. And I hope it was maybe interesting for you. And if there is some more questions, feel free to ask. I will always try to clear things out for if something is not clear, and I try to help everyone here. And I'm not I'm trying to be open and honest person as I can be. So yeah, but I will talk about my fantasy hockey, how I did last week. I did pretty good. Not I did. Guys on the ice did pretty good, and we demonstrated very good week. 15 wins against 15-2 wins. We lost only on shorthanded points and face-offs. Yeah, face-offs are not my greatest part, but all other these positions. One, big thanks to Helibak, who made it amazing game against Vegas, which I talked before. And yeah, I like my team still. Trying to maybe I will do something more, and but yeah, Max Domi is currently one of the hottest players, and a lot of people are watching this podcast, and as a lot of people like these smart fancy people are talking that he's a good fancy prospect, and but I saw that already in mid-season, and I took him in the draft. So I am also counting myself as a smart fancy people, and I love Kunin as well because he's like energy bomb in San Jose. He's playing in third line, but he's playing in the second power play unit, and he only got one assist, but he's making a lot of hits. He's blocking shots, he's shooting on the net, and yeah, he's playing pretty long time on the ice as well. That yeah. This week we are playing against Bauska's Beaters team, and guess what? Do you know who has in his team? Who is? Yeah, Tage Thompson. He had Tage Thompson, and last night, when was the first day in our match week, he got 6 points already. And yeah, it will be very hard to compete against this team, but I think it will be hard to compete maybe in these positions, and that's why I am hoping maybe on power play points, shorthanded points. Larkin scored last night, and I got this one. Faceoffs are not my strongest position, but maybe time on ice, hits, blocks, and defenseman points, and maybe I took I made trade. I traded Ranta for Velmeka this week. It's maybe not. It maybe looks pretty stupid, but I think that Velmeka will face a lot of shots this week. In 3 games, I think they had, and 2 of them maybe he probably will play. It will be a lot of shots, and I'm hoping that a lot of saves will be here, and I can bring some positions here. So yeah, that's pretty much all what I wanted to say. And again, I'm talking already almost 25 minutes, and but I hope you guys enjoyed this, and for someone this was interesting, and yeah, feel free to ask questions. Again, I'm telling that, and yeah, wish me luck against Bauska's Beaters here, because luck it will be that I will need this week here. Okay, bye. See you guys in the next videos.